Hey everyone, it's Stefan here. I've recently decided to make a school group. I'll add a link in the description. But for people watching from the school group, I just made a post about Michael Jackson. So I know what type he is. I put it up. I think Lunari said he was an ISFP. We'll see what he actually is. He's not actually an ISFP if you're watching. But let's go.
Accuser and the charges that have, for the moment, made his life a shambles. We sat down with Michael Jackson on Christmas Day at a hotel in Los Angeles, one of several cities where he has been in seclusion since authorities in Santa Barbara that were brought by the district attorney in Santa.
If I would hurt a child, I would slit my wrists. I would never hurt a child. This is totally false. I was outraged. I could never do something like that.
This is a kid you knew.
Yes.
How would you characterize your relationship with this boy?
So I'm going to let him speak for a minute, and then I'm going to explain what type he is, and we'll go through kind of how we can see evidence that he's actually that type.
I've helped many, many, many children, thousands of children. Cancer kids, leukemia kids. This is one many.
Michael Jackson says his accuser is among thousands of children he's invited to his 2,600-acre Neverland Ranch in California to play in his amusement park, visit his zoo, watch movies, play video games, and feast on their favorite foods. Tell me why you developed Neverland.
Because I wanted to have a place that I could create everything that I never had as a child. So you see rides, you see animals, there's a movie theater. I was always on tour, traveling, and I never got a chance to do those things. So I compensated for the loss by, I can't go into a park. I can't go to Disneyland as myself. I can't go out and walk down the street. There's crowds and bumper-to-bumper cars, and so I create my world behind my gates. Everything that I love is behind those gates. We have elephants and giraffes and crocodiles and every kind of tigers and lions, and we have busloads of kids who don't get to see those things. They come up, sick children, and enjoy it. They enjoy it in a pure, loving, fun way. It's people with a dirty mind that think like that. I don't think that way. That's not me.
And do you think people look at you and think that way today?
If they have a sick mind, yeah. And if they believe the trash they read in newspapers, yeah.
Okay, so Michael Jackson, he's an INFP. Well, some of the evidence is that he's very responding. Me as an extrovert, I kind of get personally annoyed when I talk to introverts because I already know what they're going to say. And like, if you don't interrupt them, they'll just continue going on with the same context. He's very responding, informative as well. He gives informative people, they tend to give a lot more context compared to direct people. I think I guess it's more because they're kind of aware that people might get confused. So informative people tend to overcompensate with more information. So that puts him as one of the background types. He's talking about his imagination a lot, about recreating kind of his childhood, which is very abstract. And also the final thing that I've noticed is with introverted feelers, I've noticed sometimes they tend to have like Peter Pan syndrome, where they tend to kind of delay growing up. That's something I've noticed, especially this when he's probably like mid 40s here, or maybe late 30s, and he's still trying to live his childhood. I think you notice that a lot in YouTube these days. I think there's a lot of introverted feelers that kind of delay, they should really retire being YouTuber. I've noticed a lot of them tend to be introverted feelers, and so I think the Peter Pan syndrome here is a huge tell. We might just continue just another minute just to see if there's any other more evidence. But he's clearly probably one of the most obvious like INFPs. But let's go.
And it's not just, remember something, just because it's in print doesn't mean it's the gospel. People write negative things because they feel that's what sells. Good news to them doesn't sell.
And Jackson says his relationship with this boy he first met.
Okay, so just because it's not print, it doesn't mean it's the gospel. I probably screwed up that saying, but yeah, extroverted thinkers, they tend to use a lot of slogans or sayings. Donald Trump is someone like MAGA, Make America Great Again. The reason why is I think they tend to find a lot of answers that are applicable to a lot of scenarios in life. So they tend to simplify things by having kind of like a slogan. Um, Another thing with extroverted thinkers, they tend to critique people's assumptions. So they, this is another thing for the slogan. I think a lot of times they kind of repeat kind of sort of sayings that can be applied. I think that's the main thing. But yeah, let's do maybe 40 seconds. We'll see.
A year ago was positive. He says he was determined to help him with his battle against cancer. So when he would come over, what would he do? What would you do?
I'll tell you exactly. When I first saw him, he was totally bald-headed, white as snow from the chemotherapy, very bony, looked anorexic, no eyebrows, no eyelashes. And he was so weak, I would have to carry him from the house to the game room or push him in a wheelchair to try to give him a childhood, a life, because I felt bad, because I never had that chance, too, as a child. You know, and so I know it felt like in that way, not being sick, but not having had a childhood. So my heart go out to those children. I feel their pain.
Jackson says he tried to help in the healing process by taking the boy around the grounds of Neverland to Jackson's favorite places.
He had never really climbed a tree, so I had this tree that I have at Neverland. I call it my giving tree, because I like to write songs up there. I've written many songs up there. So I said, you have to climb a tree. That's part of boyhood. You just got to do it. And I helped him up. And once he went up the tree, we looked down on the branches. It was so beautiful. It was magical. And he loved it, to give him a chance to have a life, you know, because he was told he was going to die. They told him, they told his parents to prepare for his funeral. That's how bad it was. And I put him on a program. I've helped many children doing this. I put them on a mentor program.
The boy, whose name and face we're not revealing, has credited Michael Jackson's.
Okay, and so finally, I'm going to talk about extroverted intuition and introverted sensing. If you listen to people when they talk about other people, um, try and pay attention which direction they're talking about. So if see how he's talking about that other person, and he tends to talk about where that person's going, their future. That's a huge tell of extroverted intuition. Someone like me that's an extroverted sensor, when I talk about other people, I tend to talk about what they did or what they done in sort of a past tense. So that's something to spot. And then introverted sensors, they talk about their own experience and their own past from their point of view. So that's it. I almost got under 10 minutes. Right. So for people that are watching, I've created an MBTI Skool group that I'm going to do typing sessions, maybe like twice a month or every week. It's just going to be in the description. Just click on it, join it, and I'll accept you. So thank you.